Hey guys, welcome to Sportswire channel. Of course, we've got the Chelsea versus Al Hilal game that is going to happen on Wednesday, and I've got a special guest for us. He is someone who knows about Chelsea at the same time he knows about Al Hilal as well. He is from Saudi Arabia. His name is Al Jabati. We will get him on soon in the show, but I just wanted to quickly tell you guys about what this game is all about. Chelsea versus Al Hilal is the first game that we have in the Club World Cup. As we all know, we are the European champions, Chelsea Football Club, right now, and Al Hilal is the Asian powerhouse or the Asian champions that we're going to be facing in the first in the semifinals of this competition. So just to give you some context of Al Hilal have enjoyed plenty of success since their formation in 1957, winning 50 domestic trophies, including a record of 17 Saudi Professional League titles and a number of Arab regional competitions. So it's not an easy team, guys. It's won 50 domestic trophies and 17 Saudi Professional League. So Saudi Professional League is similar to that of Premier League here in the Europe or in England. UK actually. So they're also a powerhouse on the continental stage where they have been crowned champions of Asia, a record 4 times following their victories in the Asian Club Championship in 1991, 2000, and the AFC Champions League in 2019 and 2021. How we have the European Championship here, the UEFA Championship or the Champions League. In Asia, there is an Asian Champions League, and they are the winners of the Asian Champions League in 2019 and 2021. The club hails from Riyadh, and they are based out of Riyadh, basically. And you can see a lot of players, not just the local players, but also foreigners who are playing in the squad currently. Al Hilal's success has come in spite of regular managerial changes, with nearly 40 coaches guiding the fortunes of the club since the turn of the millennium, including former Portugal coach Arthur Jorge, ex-Romania boss Angel, and current Croatia head coach Zlato Dalic. So there you go. Croatian coach is the coach for the Al Hilal team as well. I guess there is some Kovacic connection. But the current opponent of the hot seat in Portuguese, Leonardo Jardim, is the one who guided who was the one who guided the Monaco to the League One title in 2017, and has also spent spells in charge of Braga. Braga is a Portuguese team, actually. Sporting Lisbon, again, another Portuguese side, and Greek side Olympiacos, one from Greece. The 47-year-old replaced Brazilian Rodrigo Misele last summer and led Al Hilal to a 2-0 win over Pohang Steelers in the AFC Champions League final, which was held in the month of November last year. So having said all these, now we are going to be bringing in the guest for today, Al Jabati, hailing from Saudi Arabia, here with us, who's also a Chelsea fan, by the way. You can probably guess by the looks of it. I think that's a Chelsea hat that he's wearing. I'm not sure, but yeah. So we've got Al Jabati, who is a collation of both Chelsea and Al Hilal fan. He knows obviously a lot about Al Hilal because the uh, the club is from their location. So let's talk to Al Jabati. Buddy, how are you?
Yeah, hi, I'm good. And thank you for having me, by the way.
Absolutely a pleasure to have you here on the show. So before we get into the specifics of this game, I want to understand from you on certain things as to why Al Hilal. Why did you choose Al Hilal as the club that you want to support?
In fact, it's a long story, by the way, because most of Al Hilal fans, not only me, okay, in Saudi Arabia, you can say that they just raised by hearing the name of Al Hilal and watching all the glories and all the goals. I mean, all our memories are mixed with Al Hilal since we are kids. Um, maybe it was 35 or 40 years ago. I'm 47, by the way, okay? it was a very long time ago. I chose to be Hilali. Okay, uh, not with the way that you can say I understand how football goes or the tactics. No, I never do that. But maybe I like the blue color first. Then I start asking about the names of the stars of Al Hilal at that time. We were having legends like Saleh Naima, Khalid Dail, Yusuf Jazi, Yusuf Thaniyan, and so on. So many names. So we just get connected with them with heart, and then we start while we are growing. We start just to understand what is the football and how the tactic. And we start caring about the coach name and the assistants names and so and so, and that's how the story starts.
All right, all right. Good to hear that. So I'm going to ask you another question in terms of, I'm just trying to compare the European Champions League that we have here and the Asian Champions League that is present in Asia. So I'm just trying to correlate, how the process works, right? In Europe, what basically happens is that if you end up finishing top four in one of the leagues, then you get qualified to the Champions League, and then you play the Champions League, and then someone is crowned winner after the Group 16, and then the semifinals, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So, talk to me about Asian Champions League. How does it happen? Like, what are the countries that generally participate, and how is the round structured?
In fact, in Asia, it's a little bit different from Europe. It's not the same, but let me say that there is some kind of criterias about the countries that they have professional football leagues and with the country that they don't. Especially, let me say, like some countries in Arab region, like Jordan or Syria, or some kind of these countries, they cannot participate in this league or in this Asian Championship because of the criteria of the professional league. I think they don't have it or they have a problem with that. So we don't have that much countries, just the east and the west. We have two parts, the east and the west. Would you just
Okay.
give me a second, please? Just hold
Yes,
on.
sure.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. All right. While we get Al Jabati back, just wanted to quickly give you some updates as well on uh, the other games. So first of all, when you look at Al Hilal, this is not their first game, of course, in the competition. They've already played a game. They won against a team, and then now they're playing their second game. One factor that I often find it very difficult or find it hard for European teams to get by is that when you play in a different location, and specifically countries like Dubai or places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, where the temperature is shearing high, right? And then what happens basically is that you need to go from Europe where the temperature is pretty much low, and then you go to these countries or these places where the temperature is extremely high. That change is something which is very difficult to adapt. A lot of players have found it difficult, and there's a lot to do with the stamina of the players as well, because when you consider the stamina of people here, it's not that Asian players have more stamina, but the thing is it gets drained very quickly when you play in that tougher conditions. So that is going to be very, very difficult for Chelsea Football Club. Of course, we've done a couple of training sessions there. I'm assuming we should be ready for the game today, but it is going to be difficult. It's not going to be an easy job, guys. And this competition is not an easy competition as well. All of these people who are participating in this competition, all of the clubs that are participating in this competition, are themselves clubs who are champions of their respective continents. This particular Club World Cup was originally called as Continental Champions because you have champions from Europe, South America, North America, um, and Asia, Australia. So that's the reason why we call that an intercontinental championship, or the Club World Cup right now that is being called. And we've got Al Jabati back again. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No worries, buddy. No worries. All good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So as I was telling you, that we have two groups: the East country and the West country. The East country, most of them are the teams are from Japan, China, Korea. I mean, most of them. And the other area, or the West area, are Saudi Arabia, Gulf area in general, and some Arab countries, you can say. Then we start playing as a groups, and then so and so until we reach to the final match. Uh,
Oh,
Long time ago, let we say maybe 10 or less than 10 years ago, it wasn't this way. I mean, there wasn't East and West groups. It was all mixed in one. So it was so difficult for Arabs teams like let me say like Arabs team to go from their country to the Far East and then to play a game and then to come back again and so on. So I think that was the idea of the ASEAN Federation, Football Federation, to to change the rules and to make it separate East and West. So at the final, you find one team from the East with one team from the West.
interesting stat actually. Yeah, maybe that is probably have to do with the transportation. Maybe that in early
Exactly.
days they didn't have proper transportation to complete an entire round. It's not as
Yeah.
small as that of Europe, right? Asia is very big and widespread. So yeah, it
Yes.
does make a lot of
It's a
sense.
large continent.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So we now know about what or how Asian championship is held, and we know that you guys are the champions right now, Al Hilal. Talk to me about this particular championship this year. How did you guys perform, and who did you guys beat to get to the get to be crowned as champions?
Um, this year was, I couldn't say that it was surprised, but at the beginning of the champion, let me say, let me tell you that Al Hilal was about to get out, to kicked out from the league
Wow,
at the beginning, and uh,
group
and
stages.
the group, yeah, exactly. But by sudden, uh, there's a team who get draw with another team, so that helps Al Hilal to continue.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then you can say that we saw a different shape of Al Hilal, a different ability, a different way of thinking to start going and going on to the final. But if you asked me at the beginning, do you think Al Hilal will gonna win the trophy this year? I'm gonna tell you no, because they didn't play well at the beginning. So it was a very strange winning at the final, as you know, that we made Bohang Steelers.
Hmm.
Yeah, that they call him the giant of the East. Yeah, and
Okay,
it
the
was a very
Giants of
good.
the
Yeah,
East.
yeah, yeah,
All right. So did
and
you
it
watch
was a
the
very
Al
good.
Jazeera
Yeah.
match? Did you watch
Yes,
the
I.
Al Jazeera match?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So
It
it
was
was a
incredible.
6-1. Yeah, it was a 6-1 thumping. What do you usually play like this? Like very attacking kind of attacking brand of football, or is it just that game?
No, in our legal team, I mean in our league, in our Saudi league, yeah, most of the time Al Hilal can score this amount of goals, like 5 and 6. Yeah, but in the World Cup, I it wasn't even in my imagination that we can score this much of goals. Um,
Hmm.
and if you ask any Hilali, he will say, "Okay, we will win, but maybe with the difference of 1 or 2 goals, not
Hmm.
5 or 6." It was a wonderful
Yeah.
game. In fact, I enjoyed it. Yes, and hard luck to Al Jazeera, by the way.
Yeah. Hard luck to Al Jazeera. Al Hilal was a very strong opponent for them, losing 6-1 to Al Hilal, and now they're ready to face the champions of Europe, Chelsea Football Club. We do. I mean,
And
I did realize there were
I'm
a couple
sorry.
of.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
go
to
on.
say that sometimes you have this kind of players who can really get back to the game with more efforts and more way of thinking for winning. And Al Hilal, we have this kind of players in Al Hilal. To be honest, we have this kind of Al Hilal. So I wasn't worried even when Al Jazeera started scoring the first goal. Yeah, I just said to myself, okay, it's a matter of time, but we will win. I didn't expect the six, but at least I expect that we will going to finish the game for us.
Wow, wow. I mean, yeah, any competition getting 6 goals to 1 is not a joke, right? It's
Yeah,
not even if it in Premier League if you score this against a relegation team, it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. And when you play like a championship or a World Cup and you score 6-1, that's not to be taken like lightly. Chelsea obviously need to be very careful about Al Hilal. Of course, we have to play with utmost respect. Thomas Tuchel hopefully does that against Al Hilal. Of course, he is also not available. He is down with COVID, so he's not going to be in the match. It's going to be the assistant coach that will direct the play for us, and he will be available through hotline as informed by the Chelsea, surroundings of the community. Anyways, now talking about Al Hilal again, this time more on the players and the managers. This manager seems to be an interesting guy. He seemed to have some European experience as well, and his name is Jardim, right? Did I get his
yeah,
name wrong?
Jardim, yeah, Leonardo Jardim. Yes.
Yeah. So, do you know? Do you want to say something about the coach? What can we expect from the coach, and what is his general style of football?
Well, okay, he's a big coach. He's a very known, I think, in Europe, or at least this is what I heard about. Because if you ask me about Jardim before he came to Al Hilal, I have no idea about this name. But when he came to Al Hilal, we start facing some kind of a different style of playing, different tactics. Al Hilal all the time is we are playing as attackers. Okay, we are not this type of teams who get just to use the defense as a weapon all the time. No, we are attackers. We like to attack. We like to score goals much and much as we get the chance. But with Jardim, maybe at the beginning we have some problems to understand his way of thinking and how he's playing. But more and more, okay, because of that, maybe we faced some problems in our local league, and that's why we are the fourth or the fifth. I think we are the fourth now, uh, and the Chill. Yeah, I think we are the fourth
Position.
position now. Because of that kind of game, the players couldn't just
Adapt to it.
understand, yeah, the way of thinking by the coach. But everything totally changed when they go to the World Cup. I think
Mhm.
Jardim is start, yeah, he start to understand the players, okay, and how they like to play. It's good when I be left wing or right wing, and I play in my position. I think I would prefer to play in that position because I already love this area. And this is exactly what Jardim start doing in the World Cup. Each player in his own position, open and like. I mean, I didn't know how to explain it. I'm sorry for my English. Okay.
No worries, buddy. No worries.
Yeah, yeah. and these things are just not doing good with me. Just to give me another 1 minute. Sorry.
Yep, sure. All right. While we get Al Jabati back, of course, he's been talking a lot about Al Hilal. He just mentioned as well that they are positioned fourth spot in their local league. Of course, we are also not the table toppers right now. Chelsea Football Club in the third spot. But yeah, it happens, right? It happens to all these teams when they compete, and there is a new manager, and you need to understand how the manager functions, and the players need to adapt accordingly. I think they're going through the kind of similar phase that what Chelsea is going through as well in terms of adaptation phase, where the attackers are not really in sync with what Thomas Tuchel is thinking, and probably the same as well there. He did allude to the point that. Uh, their players are not playing in their comfortable position, which is exactly what Chelsea Football Club right now is facing as well. But he also mentioned that their natural instinct is to attack, and that you can see with the scoreline itself, right? The scoreline is 6-1. Of course, the natural instinct for them is to attack, and what it tells me is that we're going to come against an attacking team, and how are we going to defend better? Which also tells me we need Thiago Silva in the playing 11. Something tells me it's not going to be an easy game. Thiago Silva, of course, is going to add a different dimension to the defense, definitely. And I think we would need someone like Thiago Silva if this is a very attacking team and we need someone to provide a cover. I think Thiago Silva, Antonio Rudiger, and someone like Chalaba might be starting this game. We've got El Jabati back as well, so I'm going to bring him in. All good, buddy? All
Yeah,
right,
all
he's
good,
back.
all
He's
good,
back with
all good.
us. Perfect. Um, so,
I'm
uh,
sorry, I just got
so
some kind of water.
no worries, no
Yeah,
worries. So,
yeah, yeah.
I was trying to ask you this question. Maybe we were just talking to the audience as well on this particular topic. Like, even in Chelsea Football Club, there are players who are playing out of position, and that's something that players are not comfortable with as well. So, is that the similar condition in Al Hilal as well? The manager is playing the players out of position, something like that?
Yeah, in fact, it was before Al Jazeera game. That was the situation.
Case.
Yeah,
Okay.
most of them they are just playing in a different positions, and and, uh, and that's why we are in the fourth area or the fourth position in our league because of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we hope that Jardim was already start to change his way of thinking and his tactic. And this is it was obvious in Al Jazeera game. We have watching different tactic, and it was strong, and we enjoyed it a lot. And we hope he will going to do the same with Chelsea.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting game. That much I can already guess from it. People are traveling across the world to just watch Chelsea Football Club play in the final. Sorry, in the semifinals, of course. One thing for every Chelsea fan is that we have never won this trophy before. So we've already lost against Corinthians in the last time when we went for the competition. We lost against Corinthians, the South American opponent, of course, and it happened in 2012.
So
So we're going to be
both of us, we have this dream, by the way,
oh, even
to
it's the first time for
get the
you, is it?
trophy. Yeah, yeah. It will
All
going to
right.
be the first time in Arab region, by the way, and in Asia.
Okay, so it's the first time that an Arab team might win it if they go on to win the trophy, which provides which kind of is an additional pressure on Al Hilal, of course, because they now represent an entire Arab population. All right,
Yeah,
all
and the
right.
entire continent.
Mhm.
Because if we, inshallah, if we win this trophy, it will be the first Arab and the first Asian team who get the trophy.
The first
Not only
Asian team
the
to get the
first Saudi.
trophy.
Yes, yes,
Wow. Interesting stat there, guys. The first Asian team to have ever won that trophy, which means that South Americans and the Europeans have been dominating this trophy for a long time now. And it's
yeah.
time for the Asians. It's time for the Asians to dominate this trophy, says
We
Al
hope so.
Jabati. Let's see if that will happen. My heart is with Chelsea here, and Al Jabati, of course, an Al Hilal fan, is expecting um, Al Hilal to win this game. Okay, now let's get on to the players. Of course, one important player, West Brom, former West Brom player. His name is Pereira, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
Pereira. Yeah.
how important is he for your team? And we have a different sort of we have a different experience with this person, Matheus Pereira, who scored 5-2 against us early in the days. Again in the Stamford Bridge as well in the last season. So for us, she's someone who we have to be always watchful of because he knows how to score against us. He's done it in the past, and it's not going to be taking a long time for him to do it again. So, but then, how is his importance in your Al Hilal team?
Well, there is some kind of teams who they put all the tactic or all the effort or all the weight in one or two players. I mean,
Hmm.
if these two players or if this player he wasn't available or he got hurt or something, so the whole team they just get in mess, and the coach get in a big trouble. Sorry, but in Al Hilal we have a different kind of strategy. We don't use one player, or we are a group team. Okay, I
Hmm.
mean, if we missed one player or two, it doesn't mean that the whole team will going to crash down. No, Pereira, he came after a good player. His name was Carlos Eduardo, and also maybe Giofinco, the
Yeah.
Italian player. Yeah.
Mm.
So the problem of Pereira that he came after these two players, which they were very good and very lovable by Al Hilal fans, and they did a lot and a lot things with the Al Hilal team. Pereira, when he started joining Al Hilal, his start it wasn't that strong or as we expect. It was a little bit down, and we said, okay, maybe he just like so many other players. Some players they need sometimes to get with the mood or to involve with the players and to understand the atmosphere and all the area around him because it's a new area for him. Uh, but even though he he was a good playing maker for us.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, he helped us to score so many goals. Uh, Step by step, we start to understand how he plays, and most of all Hilal's fans they were just asking why he don't score goals because from what we watch in YouTube about Pereira, he scores a lot of goals, a lot of wonderful goals. So we just expected that we will going to see this kinds of goals in our league. That's what we waiting for. But I think he answered us in Al Jazeera game, and he said, "I just came for this time or for this game for the World Cup to show you how I can not only preparing the goals for you guys. No, I also can score, but in some games like World Cup now." So
Mm.
Pereira now is one of the most important players in our team, by the way.
All right. One of the most important players, Pereira. For Al Hilal, we of course have to come up with some sort of a strategy to stop him to not score against Chelsea Football Club. Apart from this, we also have a couple of information about Chelsea Football Club. Reece James is not going to be playing in the Club World Cup, though he has traveled. He is still having, I guess, a bit of injury. He's not completely recovered, so he is not going to be featuring in the Club World Cup, guys. So that's one news that we have. Though he traveled with the squad, he's not going to be featuring in the Club World Cup games. And the second news is that about Edouard Mendy, who's already traveled to Dubai. I guess it was a 2.5-hour flight, and then he made that travel. He is with the team right now. Not sure if he is going to be, uh, playing against Al Hilal in the first match, or is he going to be playing for the finals, or is it going to be Kepa who's going to be playing for both the games? It is going to be interesting on who will be featuring for these games. Having said that, we'll move into the next segment and final segment, of course. Um, your score predictions, Al Jabati, for this particular game. What is your score predictions?
I think it's. I hope it will end for Al Hilal, of course, but I think the expectation is supposed to be 50-50. I mean, we are talking
Mm-hmm.
here about the Europe champions against the Asian champions, but maybe which is the good thing, the good things. I mean, the benefit for Al Hilal here that we as Arab football lovers, we already know so much about Chelsea and their tactic and the Chelsea players, which by the other side, I think there's not that much information about Al Hilal in your area or in
Yeah.
Europe area. Yeah,
Mm.
so I think it's a little bit scary when you play against against a team that you don't have that much information about, and he's
Mm.
also the Asian champion. So
Yeah.
maybe I can say it's 60-40 for Al
Mm.
Hilal, but let me say it's 50-50.
All right. All right. Do you want to give a score line?
Of course, it will not be like a Jazeera game, or I hope. Uh, Maybe with one or two goals different, maybe 2-1 or 3-2. Yeah, but I will
Three
go.
for
Yeah, 3-2.
three. Okay, 3-2 Al Jazeera. Correct. So
Yeah.
three goals Al Jazeera
Huh?
and two for Chelsea.
No, Al Hilal. You mean?
Yeah, three goals. Oh, did I say Al Jazeera? Sorry about that. Three
Yeah.
goals Al Hilal and two goals Chelsea. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got Al Jabati's score prediction. He says three goals for Al Jazeera. Sorry, why am I saying Al Jazeera? Three goals Al Hilal and two goals
Maybe because
Chelsea
it's
Football
easy
Club.
to remember because of the channel or something.
Yeah, could be right. It's because of the channel. I get that. Yeah, the Al Jazeera
Yeah.
channel, which is very famous, right? Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So 3-2 is a score prediction for from
Al
Al
Hilal.
Jabati. No, no,
Uh,
from Al Jabati. Oh my God, why, there's so much of Al. What does Al mean? Like, why do you guys put Al in front of it? Like, does it represent something? Like, what
mm,
actually Al means in Arabic?
Al.
Yeah, like why is
Yeah.
Al
Yeah. Al
is
means the. I
the?
mean, when you say yeah, the ball, the man.
Oh, okay.
So Al means the.
All right, all right. Good to know that. Good to know that. So Al
I mean,
Jabari's
you can
score
say
prediction
Hilal.
is
You can say
Mhm.
Hilal,
Okay.
and you can say Al Hilal.
Okay. And what does Hilal mean?
Hilal. Okay. Do you know the moon at the first month of? I mean, the first days of the month.
Okay.
You know how the
First
moon
days of
looks like.
yeah.
You got it.
Um,
You get the shape.
Basically a full moon or the new moon
No, the new
or
moon.
just the new moon.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
exactly, exactly. So we
Hmm.
can call it the new moon. Yeah,
All right. The new moon. That's the okay. It's basically it gets translated to the new moon. Okay. Al
yeah.
Hilal, the new moon. Al Jabari's score prediction is three for Al Hilal and two for Chelsea. So 3-2 for Al Jabari. My score prediction for this game would be 2-1. I'm going for a Chelsea win. Of course, I need to go for a Chelsea win. And I think Chelsea will win this game, but interesting points as well made by Al Jabati. 2-1 for me, and Al Jabati gets a 3-2 as the score predictions. And we leave you guys here. It's a half an hour score. Talk about Al Hilal and Chelsea Football Club with my good friend Al
Yeah, I
Jabati
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it
from.
a lot. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for having me. Really.
absolutely my pleasure to have you actually,
And
Al
I'm sorry for
Jabati.
the mask, as I told you, because this Corona situation at home. So I'm very sorry for that.
I completely
I
get
hope
it. No
next time
worries.
we're gonna do it without this.
Yeah, please don't be sorry. Please take care of yourself, take care of the family,
Yeah,
you stay
same to you.
safe.
Same to you.
All right, hopefully we'll have another conversation about these games before the end of the, what do you call, the Club World Cup, or maybe as and when we go forward. Since he's also a Chelsea fan, guys, he's also a Chelsea fan, so we might have another conversation with him, down the line. uh,
Yeah, of course.
but I completely enjoyed talking to you, Jabati. Have a good day, and we will, yeah, we'll probably meet you guys in the post match reaction once the game is over. All right, you guys have a good day. See you then. Thank you.